Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening podcast. And today is an episode number 15, and we have entered into the Wednesday, and it's a guest post time. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in today and is ready to discover something about Twin Flames, something that is happening in this process, and why is it happening. My mission with this podcast and with the advice I have today is to make you to become your higher self and to become in a union with your twin flame, if that is your mission. But before we dive into all about the union, all about what is happening, I, as a soul, in my soul level, I'd like you to know that you are already united with your twin flame. The moment you met, this is where the realization came to you, and now your energies are united. The reason you are today in a separation is that there is a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of questioning that is happening, and also it's your big transformation. So these are the topics we are discovering in this podcast and on my social media, so feel free to follow, tune in, and share your insights. Like I said, today we are having a guest post again. Every Wednesday we're discussing a story which is anonymous. I never share a name or the names from the twin flame. It's just about to pick up the energies, talk about it, why is it like that, and what we can make a change here, and how to make a change that either your twin flame will contact you back, or you get clarity what kind of energies you have to release inside of you in order to become to the union. So I hope you will enjoy this episode, and if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe. As I can see on my on my YouTube, I have about 70% of the people who are listening are not subscribed. So, it's just a little click, but for me, it helps a lot. And plus, I'll be connected with you the moment the episode comes out. So thank you so much for it. Today, I have also a little bit of a topic, which I would like to start with, and then we dive into the stories. And the topic is that I would like you as my listener, think today about the fact that why do you think that you do not deserve an abundant life? And now I'm not talking about the abundancy only in the finance world. I'm talking abundant life where you feel that you go with the flow, where you feel that you're meeting like-minded people, where even if there is an obstacle, you stop for a moment and you feel, oh, that must be something somehow good for me. And you go with the flow. You don't have this block inside of you, like a fear. What if happens if I do this? What it happens if I do that? So you're more of what I mean under abundant life is that you really trust the life and the process. Because once you do this, everything in your life starts to change. So today when you are listening to this episode, try to keep in your mind, based on the stories, why do you think you don't deserve better? Why? Why you are staying in with your old habits and with your old ego self that is holding you back to believe in yourself. So I think listening to stories from others will make you to understand. And also, I just tell you already right now, I'm not going to tell it at the end of the podcast. Why is it important? Because if you understand the why you're holding yourself back, you start breaking down the energy, and your union with your twin flame will happen a much faster. And I just bring an example, and I think many of you who are listening today, when you met your twin flame told you so many beautiful things about you that you have never heard before, and it was even difficult for you to accept that this is who you are. For example, I just bring from my own example because I don't want to bring in my clients' examples all the time for the fact that I haven't asked the permission, although I know it's anonymous and sometimes I can bring it in. But I bring in my own example. When I met my twin flame told me that, wow, you have such an amazing voice. Why you don't speak? Why you are not on the stage? And I said, well, listen, I'm not a fluent English speaker and I make mistakes and I don't think I'm ready for it. And I did not understand the magic of my voice. I mean, I cannot hear myself. And as many of you, we know that when you hear ourselves on radio or like in a way or as a recording, we don't like it. And I was absolutely like, okay, yeah, thanks for the comment, whatever. And now, I mean, like I said, it's been 15 podcast episodes, and so many of you have written to me how you like my voice and my sound, and how do I deliver the message. So here's just a simple example that he was the reflector for me to believe in my voice. I did not believe in my voice back then. But it took me some time to open that. I had to open my throat chakra to speak my truth, to speak from my soul, and just let go of the idea that I can do it. And it took me some time, and it did not happen before my spiritual awakening and this whole twin flame journey. So here I'm just saying to you that if you are questioning, are you good enough? Are you beautiful enough? Are you worth it? Are you what you're doing in your life, do they matter? So think back from the first or second date with your twin flame. What did your twin flame told you? And write them even down. And then all of this episode, question yourself why you think you don't deserve abundant life. Like why you think so. Why you don't think you deserve what the universe is about to offer you. Okay, so that was the intro, and now we're diving into the first story. And like every time, I'll do free form. I don't know what is come up. If I feel the energy, I tell it out. If I don't, I'll just keep on going and we discuss at the end. And also, actually, for my listeners, you just can let me know how do you prefer me to share these stories? Whether you prefer me to stop and explain, or you prefer me to tell the whole story and then talk about it. Because you are my listeners, you are my gifts, you are my beautiful souls, and I'd like to deliver the best I can do it for you. Also, just the last thing that I will mention something at the end of the podcast episode is for my men listeners. I know that I don't have many of them, but I would like to discuss about it, why this journey is actually even harder for men. So, okay, let's go in because otherwise, I talk forever. Firstly, I would like to say so much for creating this platform and helping to understand this crazy journey. When I was younger, I had an imaginary friend and I had a good intuition. I was very a good judge and character. Oftentimes, I would say the outcome of a situation before it happened, and I would be right. I was always into astrology and stars. This we talked about on the last guest post episode as well, that many of you as a child, we had a very strong connection with the soul world. Like either we could feel the energies that are not from here, that you speak to someone. It's not like a ghost world. People get messed up these two things. It's more of the energy of the soul world, because soul keeps on going on. And you have this inner knowing that there is something more. And as a child, you have very strong connection with this. So many of our who are here in this journey, I know that as a child, you most probably had a very strong intuition. You were feeling things and you knew things way before others did because you could pick up the energy. And also, you had some connection with twins. Either you wanted to have a twin, or you thought you have a twin friend, or some kind of a thing, or you are a Gemini like me. There are many things. So, anyways, and also, welcome to the Gemini season. This is my season, and all the other Geminis who are listening, let me know. Anyways, let's go on. I met my husband when I was a teenager. We are both 40 now. We have 2 adult children. I got pregnant very young. We had our ups and downs for the next few years. Sometimes it was toxic, sometimes it was good. We decided to get married, so we were doing okay, I guess. Oftentimes I think there must be more to life, but I put these thoughts to the back of my head. Things got boring. When I was about 33, 34, I was told that I have a PRCA gene. Okay, it's the Angelina Jolie gene. I have a high risk of getting a cancer. They offered me into menopause at the age of 35, and I was dealing with it during the when the COVID-19 happened and the lockdown. I started online gaming to stop my boredom. I met plenty of people from all over. Great friends, even now. The thing is, one night I was playing with someone. We never spoke a word. I just knew their username. I started to feel weird, kind of embarrassed, flushed. I don't know how to explain it. I just know I couldn't wait to get back on and play with them. And I stayed. Still, we never spoke. This went on for a couple of weeks. Then he was offline for a few weeks, and I could not stop thinking about this person. Why? Someone I never even spoke to, didn't know the gender or age or anything. I just knew every time I thought about them, I get butterflies. When he came back online, we chat on game tags and I was excited. That went on for a few weeks. We eventually exchanged the numbers. I found out he was a lot younger than me. We texted every day for months. I constantly had butterflies. I couldn't eat or sleep or concentrate on anything. The sexual tension was so powerful. I didn't understand, and I never felt anything like it. It was like my body ached for him. Even though we never met, we didn't even know what each other looked like. And then there were a lot of spicy text. I couldn't actually feel I could actually feel everything we've done in all those texts. I stopped here because I picked up something which I think is very important. Based on the fact that she went through a very hard time with the possibility of having a cancer, and she had to go through under the treatment and dealing with this on COVID during the COVID-19. I just picked it up from the energy that actually the universe sent her, the twin, to save her, to literally save her life. And here is another thing, a very big thing, what we have with our twin flames. There is always another one that needs the saving, and it actually starts from divine feminine. And I'm not kidding here. We think of that spiritual awakening or the pain when you are in this separation, that it's so hard, that it's so painful. But prior to this, there was something really wrong in your life or something what had to be changed. And you did not take an action, whether it's your health, your finance system, your financial system, anything that is related to you. I tell you that if my twin wouldn't have come to my life, I most probably would have ended up with a severe burnout. I'm a workaholic. So my twin flame actually, because I went through the spiritual awakening and I started receiving the messages and understanding who I am and what I'm supposed to do in this life. Now my soul keeps on telling you wouldn't be here today without him, because I had to slow down. Like all of a sudden, my life all fell apart and I had to go somewhere to heal myself. And I would have ended up with an extreme burnout. I had, those who have followed me, I had almost close to heart attacks where my blood pressure dropped down to 40 and I couldn't even actually, like, I mean, I knew I'm going now. The only thing is, I had this knowledge of how to keep myself alive. And here, when I listened to her story, how she met, like we all know, when you meet your twin flame, either online, it's totally possible, or in the physical world, you are so confused for the fact that how you are obsessed about someone you have never met, or you have very brief connection, or something happens so quickly that you don't really have an answer, but inside of you, everything starts to change. And I can feel with her. Obviously, she can send me the message afterwards to clarify, but I can really feel that the twin flame came to her life to heal her with love and light, that she will start healing herself from that matter what she had. Okay. And of course, twin flames always younger, older. It's so common. It's so common that they are so much younger from us. and that it's actually even painful. You can also leave a comment if your twin is younger than you. It seems to be like a thing. Anyways, let's go on. My husband had no clue about it. Unfortunately, Twin Flame found someone his own age. When he told me, I literally thought I'd die. The pain. I was so heartbroken and I couldn't tell anyone. I cried so much, spent most of the days in bed. Obviously, then by my husband knew that something was wrong. I kept saying that it's just my hormones. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I knew nothing about twin flames, divine feminine or divine masculine, until all of this happened. Things didn't work out with Twin Flame and his girlfriend, but he swore off. Love said it was a waste of time. That was 8 months ago. He just to be one's friends now, which is fine by me, but it's hard. It's so hard. We text almost every day. The longing and the aching for him is still there. I have tried to leave my husband, but he gets too upset, so I stay. We haven't had sex in months. The crazy thing is, I'm feeling like I'm cheating on my twin flame if I have sex with my husband. How does that make sense? I am just going to say another energy, what I'm picking up on her. And this is exactly the fact that her twin flame, while keeping a distance, is exactly that the twin flame wants her to heal herself, to go through a very strong healing, an energetic healing. That's why he keeps away, because until you haven't clarified, let go of the energy, he will not come back. Because the only way he can heal you is when you keep a distance. The reason of the sexual energy is again the same thing. Um, there is the root chakra, that where is your sexual energy starting from and everything. And he has activated this. And what I'm just picking up here from again, another energy is like there is something about from the childhood, and I think that's where the intuition got lost for her. That has done it has to be done something with sexual energy. So I just feel that there was something. I another thing that she just told, that she got married very young, or had so she actually never had, in a way of how do I say, the real sexual energy. I spoke this about my client another day when I said that once you open up your chakras and everything, that cosmic travel you're going to have while you're having sex is beyond something you never experienced. Whether it's your twin flame or whether it's with your husband, spouse, whatever, it's going to be amazing, and that's going to heal your body like crazy, because sexual energy is very powerful energy, and we women should never suppress that. I did that for a very long time, because I'm very, how do I say, I'm very well known in my industry. I wouldn't say good looking, but I'm tall, I'm known, and I always, when I could never speak about, in a way, what I want. After the twin flame connection, after all of that, and I say again, I never had intimacy with my twin flame. I opened my chakras, which were so tight. They were literally tight. And now I honestly say the reason I was not alive was the fact that I was holding back what I want in my life. And sexual energy is one of them. It doesn't mean that you go wild in, we can talk about this episode, because I think it's more, I have to talk in a more of a private way of this. So I put this up in my exclusive. So those who want to listen one day, I'll do that episode about the sexual energy. But I'm just shortly saying is that when I'm now having intimacy, I am traveling, like my soul is going through the cosmics. I am beyond somewhere else. I'm not there physically, no longer. And that's heals my body, gives me the energy, gives me the understanding who I am. And now what also it makes me have made me the difference is not, and I think it's from the both sides, it's from the men and the women when you do that, is that you are not anymore having physical sex, you are having energy. intimacy and sex, and it takes time. There is a ritual. I mean, I can all share about this because I had no idea about that before, but thankfully for my twin flame, he opened up my like understanding that I have to open up my chakra. And I mean, I will tell the stories which are quite personal and I will put them up. It's just because I really would like to help you and understand here that actually when you're holding yourself, like you feel the tightness in your hips, you would like to have, how do I say, intimacy, but you're afraid of what you get out of it. And instead of you're worrying about the other person, how do they feel and how do I look? No, 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 no. This is your body that needs to be open, healed, and have fun and go for this cosmic travel. Anyways, let's go on from here. And if she says, how does it make sense that I'm feeling like cheating? Because you're connected with your twin flame on the energy, and your twin flame is like, dear, I will just make up the name right now. No, let's say, dear divine feminine, it's your time to enjoy your body, feel everything, have this amazing time. But in her mind, she's in a way worried when she's having intimacy with her husband that if the husband feels good, and she doesn't care about herself. So let's go on from here. This week, Twin Flame has said that she has interested in someone else, and the pain came back again. I'm consumed with jealousy and anger. I feel I'm never going to be myself again, or even be happy. I'm so confused. It's funny because when I did see the photos of my twin flame, he's exactly my type. My husband is the complete opposite. I'm a Leo, by the way. Twin flame is a Virgo, and my husband is a Libra. I really hope it makes sense to you. Thank you so much. The reason you are feeling the pain and the confusion is the fact that your old self is about to go. You are going from the caterpillar into a butterfly now, and there is a transition period. So everything you know in prior, everything you think you are or you were, is no longer there. You are now becoming a higher vibrant being. So what can happen with your husband is the fact that you are not in the same alignment. So you no longer have the same energy. You do not speak on the same understanding. I don't know if your husband is spiritual, if he has a good intuition. What happens often when we come across with this twin flame energy is about to awaken you to become your higher self. And then what happens that our spouse are not yet there. It's not always the case. Like my case is very different. My case is to guide my husband through this process. And my husband is spiritual, but it took him a very long time to attach his ego. We were very close to a divorce. We could not speak the same language, but his soul was very honest. And when I did the channeling, his soul was like telling to me, because I had another person who did the channeling and said to me, literally these words, I know you are somewhere else. I know you are in such a beautiful place. I see you glowing, but I don't know how to get there. And please be patient with me. Help me to get there. And that actually shifted my mindset a lot because then I realized, yes, of course, the place where I am today, the energies I am feeling today, is not that happened overnight to me. And it was hard and it was painful. And I shouldn't take this as why others don't feel like this. This is why my podcast, my stories, what I'm feeling, and when I'm consulting you, is to help you to become your higher self. And again, I don't repeat, each time I repeat about it, when you become your higher self, your twin flame will come back to you like like with a rocket. It's just like boom, they're back because now they feel it's not their mind, their soul feels you have your divine feminine to become your higher self. So now it's the opposite, as the divine feminine will heal the twin flame from the mind off. And if that happens, the union is 100%. I don't even lie here. But nothing will happen before you haven't let go of your old self. Nothing. And I'm very serious about it because I know that there are so many people out there who will tell you, I bring your twin flame back tomorrow, do this, watch tarot, and I don't have anything against it. But for my listeners who I care so much about, I really care about you because the way you write to me the emails, the way you talk to me, I'm sitting in the morning and sometimes I have tears in my eyes. I'm like, how is it possible that we have so many beautiful souls out here and they're suffering? So my mission is stop your suffering, become your higher self, and become to the union. So I hope it's not too arrogant. It's just more of inside of my soul is like, enough is enough. You deserve the best. Um, so this was the first story. We'll have a second story today also. And then so we're gonna discuss from here. So that's from the second listener and another beautiful soul. I have listened almost all of your YouTube videos and I felt I need to reach out. So I guess I start to share my story with you. I met Aaron in November 2022. I first heard of twin flame after a horrible ending in a karmic relationship. I believe that was start of my awakening, and that was in 2021. I spoke this about on my previous episode, which was on Sunday, the episode you didn't like to hear. Your karmic is also a trigger of your spiritual awakening. What happens, there are two scenarios which I can say. You're currently married to your karmic or in a relationship with your karmic. He or she has done something to you that doesn't make sense to you. And what happens is that then on that moment you realize who you are on your soul level. So now what happens is many of us can leave the relationship and move on and we make our own decision. Many of us have 3D factors, such as children, such as financial issues, such as whatever. So we don't make the decision. And then the universe sends you the twin flame to really shake you up and say, you have to trust the universe, you have to trust yourself, you have to become your higher self. And that's the moment when you make a decision to transit. That's the moment where you leave the karmic partner behind and you become your higher self. It's not an easy process, it's not walk in the park, but this is what the universe wants from you. So let's go on from here. After that, I changed jobs, went in a downward spiral. 100%. And many of you who are listening can tell they lost their job, they moved away, they lost their home, they lost their relationship, they lost their friends. Things started only going downwards. As many times, many things you tried to keep things together just simply didn't stay together. You were trying, you were, let's say, taking extra jobs, you were trying this and that, and nothing worked out. Because the universe is like, stop being blind, start doing what you're supposed to do. And your twin flame is here, your mirror. Whatever your twin flame says to you, believe it and trust it. So let's go on from here. Had many encounters with other men, all bald, that came into my life. In July, I was seeing this guy that has sent me a picture. In the picture was the name Fritter. My blood family came from Oregon many years ago and had a very small town called Ritter. Fast forward to October at work. I was in a hospital, psychiatric to be exact. I see this picture of this man, bald, and the last name Ritter. I work days, he works nights. If he moved from Michigan to Oregon, fast forward 9th of December 2022, I got his number and I texted him. I couldn't stop thinking about him. We chat for a few weeks. He finally asked me out. Our first date was the 1st of January 2023. 1123. The numbers 11 and 13 follow me on that day. I look up and there are two framed jerseys, one with 11 and the one with a 13. Our romance lasted until the 13th of February 23. 21323. That night when I left his house, I went into my first ego death for 9 to 10 days. I read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now during that period. I thought my heart was being ripped out. Aaron texted me towards the end of that stint. Again, which I tell my episodes, which I tell on my social media, and I'm telling to my clients. Read The Power of Now. Start today. Listen it on YouTube or order the book, or whatever you do. Read The Power of Now. I read the book Power of Now. My twin flame popped back after this. The minute it was my last day when I was so given up. I read the book and I was like, you know what, universe, whatever you want from me, take it. I can't no longer handle this. And my twin flame back up. The Power of Now has such a message for you, and it will start healing you with these words. So please read that. If you want your twin flame to text you, if you want your twin flame to pop back to you, read that book. And I'm not kidding here. And you see, there's another woman who sent me the story, and here we go. We spoke about 3 weeks at that point. I had a huge urge to tell him that I loved him. I did, and on our encounter of 3rd of March 3323, he was angry with me, told me I shouldn't have told him that and we should stop talking. I walked away for that month, went through more misery. On the 2nd of April 23, I reached out to see him. I went to see his house, told him I was still in love with him. We talked for hours again. I was in tears in the whole night. Left the next morning with being an open-ended in what was next. We haven't spoken since. In person except him telling me hi at the work. There are a lot of synchronicities I see. So during our time together, some weird stories of things that happen. I've had few days where I cry for no reason, and the weird stuff happen when I sleep, and etc. I got offered a night position. I took it. I was on nights for many years before days, and now back on nights. Same unit and same shift as Aaron. I was in fear at first about this move, but I decided it was about my happiness over fear. If things would be weird on the same shift. Anyways, that's kind of the shortened version of my story. I should mention that Aaron is a spiritual guy more than I am, so I can't explain anymore. I know what this is. It's funny that when now at the end she said that Aaron is a spiritual guy, I kind of felt from the very beginning that Aaron is actually a very spiritual guy. And the reason I'm saying this is because he understands. He really does understand, because I'm just going to say, and it might hurt her, so I don't really want to hurt you, but I'm just saying it out. When you were saying to Aaron that I love you, or you are like everything for me, Aaron wanted to see that you see yourself, not the love from him, but the love from yourself. And he could feel it. He could feel the neediness, that you don't believe that you are beautiful, that you are this radiant being and this absolutely amazing energy, that you believe that the only reason you might be this is when Aaron is there and telling you that. So he picked it up that, okay, she needs time, and that's why he did not say back to her. So there is a lot of process for this beautiful soul to go through it. The dates, I should actually take a little screenshot from the dates and just show it as 1-3 and 1-1-1 and 3-3-3 and 2-2-2. Definitely union. I can already tell that this encounter is a union encounter. Because Aaron is already actually the one who is awakened. But as he's awakened, his energy level is so much higher. He's vibrating on a very high energy. And our soul has, the one who wrote us the message, has some self-belief things to do. So there has so many things happen inside of her soul that there is definitely, she doesn't believe that she deserves this, what she has right now. Again, I can be completely wrong, but this is just things I'm picking up from her story. And she hasn't opened her heart chakra yet. It's very blocked, and it might be from the karmic relationship. Something that really made her to lose a contact with her soul. And I think it's a bit of a cheating. I feel there is a cheating energy. And that's why she cannot let go of that energy, and she's very vulnerable. This is what I'm just picking up on at first. I think we need some more information and everything that happened in her body, because our body plays a very big role in that connection. Because whatever you feel in your body, that means you need to open them up there and go within. So these were the 2 stories of today. I hope you find them useful, and I hope I didn't hurt anybody. It's not my intention. My intention is to really help you to become your higher self and share your story with others, that to understand that they are not alone, and it's completely, it's part of the process, and that's why we are discussing it. So yeah, this is what I'm stopping for the stories. But like I said, I have for my men listeners, and I honestly would like to say, first of all, thank you so much. That I know now, and I think many of our listeners, that there are so many beautiful men out there who have a spiritual connection, who care about women and the energy. And why I'm talking about it is that I figured, talking to my men clients, that it is harder for them. And I clarify before I go in. Divine masculine is not man physical. Divine masculine is an energy. It's the one who normally runs. Divine feminine is the other energy, is the one who stays and starts to awaken first and questions everything about themselves. So also these men who are listening to me or who are following, they are divine feminine. They are divine feminine energy. Okay? So they are very caring, very loving, very beautiful beings. I'm not saying that divine masculines are not beautiful beings, but now their runners, who tend to be women, are divine masculines. That's why they run. And I want to tell to my men audience, and it will also give the clarity for others to understand what is going to happen when their twin flame starts to awaken. And I find that it's harder for men to let go of their ego. The number one ego is, if your twin flame happens to be with somebody else, that you get jealous, or you have this feeling like, why are they with this person? It's not good for her, because you can feel it, and you can feel the energy when they're unhappy and everything like this. I'd like to tell you that it's because there is a process. And the more you detach from the idea of another physical being, the more closer you become to your twin flame. The next thing is, and I know it's from men's ego, it's not again the energy, it's from the men's ego, it's the finance. Often men like to measure themselves based on how wealthy they are, how much money they make, and everything. That boosts their ego, but pulls away from their soul. So happens that their twin flame is out there and tends to choose somebody else who is, let's say, maybe financially better, having better career, or everything like this. Again, I'd like to tell you that, and that's why we're coming back to the abundant life. You as a man, You have to believe that you are your higher self and you are serving the world in your highest good, and you are an abundant. This is what your twin flame wants you to believe in you. This is what your twin flame told you when you first were together. Remember? Remember the words what your twin flame told you. Write them down. This is what your twin flame wants you to become, because they can see you. They can see from the mirror. The next thing is, of course, family and like reproduction. For men, it's very important. It's even though men can say they don't want children or they don't want family or anything like that, it's your caveman instinct from your that has built the ego that you want to have a family. And if your twin flame happens to have a family with somebody else, that really triggers your men potential or male potential. Again, you deserve the same way, and you will have the same, experience if you let go of what is already there. Every one of us know when we are together with our twin flame, there is no time and space. There's no time and space is happening. So don't think of the past, don't think of the future, think of what you have now. If your twin flame already has children, good, amazing. But now, you have now. If you want to have children, you'll have now. If you want to have a beautiful life, you have it now. You will not have it in 10 years. You'll not have it in 10 years back. You have it now. The Power of Now. Read that book. I cannot stress it enough. The link is in my description as well for those who want to order. I think you need to really listen and take this in inside of you. I have a couple of another book is, I don't know if many of you have read it, but The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Read that book. It changed you. It will change the whole way you see this twin flame union. And I want you to become your higher self. I want you to be like, this radiant, beautiful being. And I'm telling you, this week I had so many people we had the calls with, and really from the different end perspective. And when I spoke to this one beautiful woman who's just the one step, the crown chakra, where you really trust and surrender into the universe, she's very wise. And she's just one step away from that. She's just one step away. And I mean, when she steps into that step, I can feel it in my body how it's like a cosmic travel is going to happen. And she's going to be on that moment. And she's like, wow, it really happened. Remember, time and space doesn't exist. You want to talk to your twin flame today? You feel like you need to reach out to them? Sit down and just say to your twin flame, I love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. You made me to feel this. You made me to feel that. You made me the whole. And I am happy. But I know we are together. I know that. I know what you're doing today. And I tell you another funny thing which you can try, and just tell me how it worked out for you. If it's your true twin flame, it will 100% work out for you. Sit down, close your eyes, go within and say, dear me, dear my twin flame, my soul, I'm connecting with you. I'm connecting with my soul family because I want to say something. I want to say that today has been a wonderful day. I feel a little sadness, and I feel the sadness because of, I don't know, just come up with something. And then at the end of this, when you talk, say, if you feel the same way, send me a sign. White bird, let's say the white bird. If they do feel the same way, you will run into the white bird in somewhere very unexpected that okay. The reason you are not communicating in the separation is the ego. The ego doesn't want to communicate. The ego holds you back. You know how many people are fighting in this war because of our egos? We wouldn't have any fights or any kind of miscommunication if our ego wouldn't hold us back. So you have to understand that you are connected. Whatever you want to say to your twin flame, say it with your mind. and receive the messages from the universe. Even though they don't reply back to you on a physical form or you don't see them, they will reply back to you with the universe sign. I just cannot stress this enough, but I want you to know, because you know how much I care about you. You just don't know how much I care about you. Every single listener who leaves me the comment or whatever, I am so beyond thankful. I remember when I did my first episode and I said, if I can heal 10 people, if I can just do 10 people, I have done enough. And this is my mission. So I really hope you got the message from here today. Actually, right before I finish, I want to say to everybody, that since last Friday, there has been a very intense energy because of the new moon from Taurus. There is the energy of self-formation and new beginnings, like a big shift. So many of you can feel that their twin flame runner is awakening, and it really confuses them. It happened to me that I did not understand what is happening inside of me, why I'm getting triggered again. But I figured it out very quickly that there is a new moon and new growth, and my twin flame is awakening, and it's so intense that it hasn't let me to sleep properly, and it gives me really weird dreams. I mean, I say write your dreams down, because your dreams have a big message for you. And I'm just saying a simple example. I used to live in a different country before, but the country where I met my twin flame. And last night I saw a dream where I was still in this different country, and I wanted to move away the country where I'm now. And then what happened is that I got a beautiful house in the country I was living previously. Everything was wow. And he wasn't there as physically, but his message, and I kept feeling like I want to go somewhere else, but I have everything here what I need, but I need to go somewhere else, and so I had this huge fight with me. And this morning I woke up and I saw what my twin flame posted on social media. And then I was like, okay, he's fighting as well. This message was for that he has everything there, but he feels he doesn't belong there, and he misses me, like he literally misses me. So you see, there is the message, there is this, you have to understand that you communicate in a very different way that, just talking to each other. The messages are very powerful, even more powerful with the telepathy, with the way I communicate. It's amazing. Anyways, I wrap it up here today, and thank you so much for listening. Honestly, your every single comment, like, subscribe, everything means the world to me. So if you have these 2 minutes, if you can, please do it. Your recommendations, your ideas are more than welcome. For those who would like to share their story, Twin Flame Awakening Journey at gmail.com. Send me your story and we'll dive into that. I love you and thank you for listening. I hope to see you soon.
With you, there are no stop signs. Counting down till we take flight. It's how you make me feel. Yeah. Let's call in sick and be lazy. I'm all for doing what's crazy. Cause you make it real, yeah. You'll find a different side of me. The one I'd like to be. A different side of me, yeah. You'll find a different side of me. Like someone pretty neat. A different side of me, yeah. You're changing me. Day by day got me shedding skin. The layers are peeled away. Got me moving through time and space. Your magic can't be erased. Can't be erased. You'll find a different side of me. to be a different side of me, yeah, yeah. You found a different side of me, like someone pretty neat. A different side of me, yeah, yeah. The one I'd like to be, a different side of me, yeah.